Welcome to the Genius Talk podcast. I'm your host Atul Raj from the bestemailmarketer.com, and today we have Bobby Gillespie with us. Bobby, welcome to the podcast.
I'm glad to be here.
Awesome, brother. So, for our listeners who don't know you, can you tell them who you are and what do you do?
Who am I? Well, I guess in terms of your audience, I own an agency for about 10 years. And before that, I was working in agencies and in-house, primarily as a designer, art director, creative director, and everything from brand to e-com, enterprise, mostly in the marketing adjacent space, but on the creative side. But I pivoted away from owning an agency, and now I'm an outsourced executive director of brand and creative. Essentially, clients hire me to help them. They essentially understand that brand and creative direction aren't like project based roles. It's a leadership role. And I come in and work with the CEO and their team, depending on my capacity or my role and what that capacity looks like. I'm essentially running teams, creating direction, setting vision, and helping them optimize every aspect of their brand. What content creation, campaigns, personnel, vision, messaging, design, all those aspects that a brand needs to scale to aspirationally high levels.
Yeah, like who are your ideal clients?
So I love the wellness space. I work currently with a consumer tech brand that's in the wellness space. I work with people who are sort of in the therapy side of it, but creating technology to help their clients or patients, advising in sort of the biohacker realm, as well as sort of plant-based medicine, things like that. But I also, have done it all. I've worked with consumer brands, retail, e-com, B2B, B2C. So I do advise some entrepreneurs in the B2B space, particularly when they're trying to reinvent the business and scale it really high. I kind of fit in that um, 7 figures, 8 figures, looking to get to 9 figures. And I come in as an outsourced executive to help them do all the things necessary, come in as a thought partner, advisor, philosopher to help them really set that aspirational vision and get there.
Like, what do you think? Like, what are the difference between company who work on their branding and company who don't?
Well, you see the most successful brands out there, and historically as well as current. And those are the ones that are constantly looking at their investments in brand and marketing and sales. Those are all the same thing to me. They're constantly investing in it in a way that aligns with the scientific method. So they're making hypothesis based on research and data and understanding, but they're not making those decisions based on research and data because that's all historic. So they're making hypothesis to be visionary based on what data they can collect. And then they're testing it. They're constantly testing it and evolving it. So the ones that don't do that are the ones you see go and spend a bunch of money on a new logo, new messaging, new website every, 4 or 5 years. But every time they do that, they're so far behind because they said it and they say, okay, we're done here. Let's go market it and not really experiment on how to make the brand move forward, make the brand grow and evolve as the company grows and evolves. So the difference is really the ones who are visionary and understand the importance of constantly pushing forward and testing and understanding the customer and our space in the market and trying to, not do things like what makes us different, but how do we create our own category? And that's more visionary versus reactionary.
Okay, I'm curious. Okay, so here's the thing. When you said testing, like, what do you mean by that? Because because I think in branding we have to be consistent with our messaging. Then, what do you mean by testing?
So you should be experimenting with the words you're using. So like you want to have a consistent, recognizable brand, but in the campaigns and the messaging and like what you say in your website and where, constantly test that. Because small changes could make a huge difference in the performance of your brand. So the difference between me and most other people that come in as a creative leader in the
Mm-hmm.
marketing space, they don't understand the performance side of marketing. I do. And I understand the critical nature of developing creative that performs. It's an opportunity every day to learn and improve. And the number one metric to me in marketing is progress. Are we making progress towards our goals? And then you have all these other indicators to break it down into more of the KPIs and metrics that we're all familiar with. But that's why I'm not like, I don't fall under marketing. I stand next to the CEO
Mm-hmm.
because I become a proxy for the CEO, meaning that I speak for them because I know the vision, I know the business goals and objectives, I know the opportunities, I know the market, I know what we're doing for marketing, I know the channels, and I know the people creating it. So all of that gives me the opportunity to release the CEO to do CEO stuff while I'm in there helping say the right thing to the right people in the right place, helping put the team in the position to move the brand forward and get the progress we want.
Okay, I have one personal question. Okay, so
Sure.
so I'm working with a company, and the CEO asked me to do a specific thing. Okay, he asked me, I would like you to help me with this, but that doesn't work. I know that because it's bad for positioning, and but still he wants me to help him, but he want to do like a specific thing that is not good. You know how to communicate that way that he will understand that it doesn't work what he want to do.
So what I've done, I started on this journey about 15 years ago, was to remove whim, opinion, ego, and emotion from the decision making progress around a brand.
Mhm,
So, like, instinct's good. Being informed and going with your gut, that's fine. But if you're going on whim, opinion, ego, and emotion, then those aren't any reasons to make decisions that could cost you significantly as a business leader. So, if they're coming to me and their idea is really bad, I'll just tell them that's why I'm here. I'm here to make sure that we're making progress. I'm here to make sure that the decisions we're making are moving us towards our aspirational goal. Like, brands are like, hey, we're at 20 million and we want to go to 40 to 100. I'm like, okay, why don't we shoot higher than that? Because it's the same amount of work to go to
mhm,
200 as it is 100. So when we understand the goals and objectives and the mission of the company, and then how each of our roles and responsibilities contribute to the success or of a daily operations and optimizing the operations in the teams, then we get immense amount of traction. And if we're distracted by a CEO that's pulling things out of the air all the time and being like, let's try this thing. First of all, they're probably not going to hire me. They don't want anything to do with me. The CEOs that want something to do with me is like, I don't know your part, and we need your part to reach our goals. We need your help, and that's coming from a place of modesty and being humble, but realistic. They
mhm.
can't do it alone. So if they think they're going to go from 20 to 100 million on gimmicks, well, they're wrong, and they're either going to ruin the company or lose their CEO role.
Can you share one of your favorite case study?
Well, let's see. I think one of my favorite stories was I was working and advising with this brand, consumer product, wellness space. They sold in Walmart, Target, and on Amazon. And they sold Walmart and Target both .com and retail. And they came to me and they were like, we know we could be a $30 million company. I think they were at 10. And I was like, okay, let's figure that out. And, I don't come with the answers. I come with the questions.
Mhm,
So we got down to asking the questions, and what we did was we realized two things. One, that they sold direct to consumer more. They'd have more control of their brand versus the big retailers kind of bullying them. So that's more profitable. And that allows us to invest a lot in digital marketing to essentially buy leads and which convert into customers. But we knew that the competition was small and the opportunity was great, but they didn't want to lose actually they were 30 million. They didn't want to and they want to go, I think, double. They didn't want to, and I told them not to. I was like, you can't ruin the relationships you have with Walmart, Target, and Amazon. You can't. And they're like, well, we want to be a digital native brand and sell direct to the consumer. I said, at this point, by changing the messaging and doing some redesigning of their website and adding like a quiz feature to like help people figure out what they needed and subscriptions and things.
Mhm.
We help them increase their monthly sales D2C through their website from 30 to 100K. And this is only in a few months, right? So we more than tripled it. So then they're like, all right, we hit this goal. You're awesome, dude. I'm like, yeah, what's next? And the managing director and the chief strategy officer were like, we want to be a digital native direct to consumer brand. And I said to them, that's great. If that's your goal, I can't work with you. And I said, why? I said, because you can't change history. You can't change reality. You're not digital native. You can go into Walmart right now and buy your products. How can you change that? And if that's the goal, we can't be successful with you. You'll be frustrated with us because we can't deliver, and we'll be frustrated with you because your goals are unreasonable. And they said, who says that? I said, I do. I don't want that money. That money's not worth it.
Mhm.
So they said, well, then what should we do? I said, let me think about it for a second. I thought about it for a second. I said, why don't we create a higher premium product that only we sell on our website that's like the other products, but it's more of a premium positioned offer. And they were like, brilliant. And I said, all right, let's do it. The only thing is, I got to increase my fee because I'm doing more. And they're like, done. So I told them no. Like you asked, like, what happens if they have a bad idea? I tell them no,
Mhm.
I don't want it. And then I help them find a solution to the problem they didn't truly understand. And I saw the problem from a point of view that they didn't have. And then I said, this is the path forward. And we did it and we crushed it. And I worked with them for about a year before the company was acquired and everything shifted and we moved on. But I guess that's one of my favorite ones.
Thank you so much for sharing that. It was really helpful.
Yeah. Thanks for asking. It's good to think about it. It's
Yeah.
been a while since I thought about those guys.
Okay, brother. So, you have a book, okay? Build your brand like you give a set. So, can you talk about that? Uh, Good cover, pink, pink.
Yeah, it's not really pink. I think it's just it's red, but
It's
it's
looking
coming up
pink.
pink here. That's okay. The colors are off. So it's a manifesto. It's about connecting head and heart, right?
Uh,
So just like I said about that case study of working with that brand, I told them no. I could have told them yes, and really that's what I want people to think about: the decisions you're making every day. How are they impacting your reputation? Because your reputation is your brand, and we want to build up the most positive and abundant reputation equity. We want people to know us for the right thing. We want to earn that reputation every day. And leading brands, whether it's the creative part or the tactical part or the personnel part, all those parts that make up a company, you have to be making consistently good decisions that are helping you earn and optimize for the reputation you desire. Because we all know you get the reputation you deserve. Make it the one you want. And that's what connecting the head and the heart, right? Do the right thing. It's a long-term vision thing to make decisions that benefit you today and in the future versus making decisions that only benefit you here and now, which will potentially harm you down the line.
awesome, Bobby. So looking back, when you started, okay. So what's the one lesson you would tell yourself if you could restart today?
If I was going to go back to 1999 and start today, two things. One, more of the creative. I would have obsessed over typography earlier in my career because typography is the one facet of graphic design that no other schools of design share. And if you're really strong in typography, then you're a good designer. No other part matters. That, and I would say the second part is focus on the marketing problem, because the marketing problem is the most critical problem any business or brand faces. Because if they can't figure out the marketing problem, nothing else matters. Your product doesn't matter. Your service doesn't matter. Nothing matters if you can't figure out the marketing problem. The marketing problem is communicating your value in a distinct way to ideal customers, inspiring them to take action that benefits both parties, right? So if you have no pipeline, no leads, no customers, what does anything else matter? It doesn't. So I would say typography and focusing on the marketing problem.
Okay, so for our listeners who want to know more about you, want to read your book, or want to hire you, where can they go?
Go to my website. It's beproper.com, BEPROPR.com. You can subscribe to, I send out a weekly email on the weekend. I'm on Substack, the same sort of post is on there. And sometimes it makes it to LinkedIn, but LinkedIn isn't my favorite anymore. But just go to my website. You can find me there. Hit me up. Let's talk. Buy my book. Check it out. And I kind of dabble on Instagram. That Bobby G is my handle.
Okay, so is there anything else that you would like to share?
Yeah. Be optimistic and kind to people. You'll be a happier human.
100%. Awesome, brother. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. It was really great chatting with you.
Fun.
Yeah, it was
super fun. Well, what are you going to do with this?